So what we are coming to say is participative leadership. We need someone who can give direction. We need someone who can come up with innovative ideas to ensure that we capture the resources that we have. We have shown you how to work, now go and fish. But we will not give you fish. We will give you a platform to fish. The aim here is to let them pull some resources together and then get more opportunities to work at the same time. So by the end of the day, they have formed a union. We young people have to rise. This time, let us not sell our inheritance. By inheritance, I mean let us not sell Kameno by being given tokens.
This is Thika Town Today 3T TV, Thika's #1 online news channel, where we tell the Thika story as it is. Today we are at Mary Point Chicken Garden, where we have the best kienyeji chicken. It is located next to Thika Garissa Road, opposite St. Peter's the Rock Catholic Church, where they only talk kuku and kuku kienyeji. Today we have another guest. This time is Countdown 2022. He's going to tell us who he is, which seat he wants to vie for, and why he wants to vie for the same. And without wasting any time, let the program begin. Welcome to the program. Please tell us who you are and what you do for a living, and maybe tell us why you want to vie for the seat that you want to sit.
Thank you, Mr. James, for this platform. My names are Pabius Gichuki, Nyambura, aka Nyuki. The name Nyuki I was given by my street colleagues. I live at Kisii, in Kameno Ward. My history, in a nutshell, I was born in Nyuki. My parents are from Nyeri. I went to Lusoi Primary School. It is located in Nyeri, a place called Narumoru. And then I went to Kagumo High School, which is at Kiganjo. There's another Kiganjo in Nyeri. And then later I joined Jomo Kenyatta University of Science and Technology, where I pursued bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. And after that, during my learning era, I joined my uncle who lives at Kiganjo.
Which Kiganjo?
Now this Kiganjo, the Kiganjo for Kameno, that was around 2010. So from 2010, I've been living with my uncle in Kiganjo, and then I settled at around Kisii. So Kameno has basically been my home. Kameno is where I have invested. It is my home. That is where my family is. I'm vying for the seat of Ward Representative, MCA, Member of County Assembly. And Mr. James, I may say, for most of my life, I've been in leadership positions. And community empowerment has been one of my main agendas. So in Kameno or in Kisii, Kiganjo, I have an ICT foundation. It is called Nyuki ICT Foundation. It deals with online jobs, online empowerment. This is where I take young people, I train them about online jobs. By the way, as per now, that is the work that I do. I mean, online jobs, I do academic writing, I do marketing, I do design, research, all those. And I found that there is no need for me to enjoy this self-employment platform alone. I can extend the same platform to other people. So I have already started, and I have also engaged in community talent empowerment. This is where I have been engaging in helping local teams develop talent, sponsoring them where I can, with the help of donors, friends, and even community members. This way I've been able to keep youths in order.
Now let me get these points.
Yes.
When you talk of online jobs,
Yes.
Most people believe online is just for social networking and such. Can you take us briefly what you mean by online job? Does it pay? Is it a job like any other? kindly for the benefit of that
Yes.
viewer,
Yes.
tell us about online jobs.
Online jobs, many people have the wrong perception about online jobs. Mr. James, you can agree with me that we have entered into an era where digital transition is inevitable. Our youths of today are relying on such areas as YouTube, other areas as Viewsasa. There are 4 types of jobs in online jobs. There is the academic writing. There is one we call transcription. There is another one we call design. There is marketing. And then there is also research and proposal writing and design. Yeah. So it's a very marketable and practical platform.
So basically you can tell us that we can proudly tell the youth that there is a lot of work online.
Yes, there is a lot of work online.
So there is no reason for somebody to say they are jobless.
Exactly. And there are people who think that I would like to say this. Just like any other domain, any other economic activity, there are people who scam people online.
Yes.
There are people who take advantage of others in online. There are risks and there are benefits, but I'd like to assure people,
just like in any other virtual
platform.
Okay, let's maybe we come to that. Now, you say that you want to vie for Kameno, a member of county assembly.
Exactly.
Now tell us why Nyuki for that seat. Why you? Why do you want to vie?
Okay, after voting for the last 2 or 3 elections, I have been observing the trend of politics in Kenya. And I would like to say it is time our youths stand up and take up leadership positions. Since I was in primary school, I have been told I am the leader of tomorrow. I went to high school, they told me the same thing. I went to university, they told me I'm the leader of tomorrow. Now I'm in my own hustle. I'm still being told the same thing. So I, as Pabius Gichuki or Nyuki, I thought the leadership capability I have, how can I use it? How can I reach out to the people and bring transformative leadership? Because what we are lacking in Kameno is not resources. But the people of Kameno are very industrious, or let me say Kiambu in general, very industrious, very hardworking. They just want a platform, they just want leadership, and they just want to be directed. So for our youths and women, we need someone who can give direction. We need someone who can come up with innovative ideas to ensure that we capture the resources that we have, we become innovative, and we give them the right direction. So, and I believe I am that person.
You are the person.
Yes.
Now, how differently will your leadership be from your predecessors? If I look how I go back, there's also this notion that most people complain that they give the youth a chance, but at times the youth let them down. So, how different is Nyuki or Nyuki from your predecessors, as well as the youth that people feel at times they let them down?
Yes, thank you, Mr. James. I would like to say for the last 8 months, my boots have been on the ground.
What do you mean by boots on the ground?
My boots have been on the ground. By this I mean, I have been talking to people. I have been observing. I have also observed the leadership that we have been having. So, what we are lacking in Kameno, I would like to say, is participative leadership. You elect a leader, he or she and their clique of friends or the PA, they want to do everything alone. They don't know the problems that Wanjiko is getting there on the ground. So my leadership will focus on engaging people, working with people. The issues that are affecting, I will have representatives in every area. Because let me tell you, Mr. James, if you go there to lead and you think that you know everything, you will find that there are problems down there that you don't know. But if you have people there who are calling you and telling you, Mr. Nyuki, we are having drainage problem down here. the first thing as a leader I should do is go there. Because first of all, even if I've done nothing, getting down there is hope for those people, because it is my job to represent them. So my leadership will have two things: participation, and it will be transformative. Transformative means that I will focus on new ideas of how we can do things differently and come up with economic empowerment. And at the same time, ensuring all essential services are handled from what can I say, from a limelight point of view. Yes.
Now, if I go back to whatever you're saying, that's very sweet to the ears.
Yes.
But considering the kind of politics that we have in Kenya,
Yes.
sometimes it gets murky,
Yeah.
sometimes it gets dirty,
Yes.
and at times
Yeah.
the people would want to listen to the persons or the people who are giving them rhetorics.
Yeah.
Now, how do you plan to go about that dirty part of politics? Because for me, I believe politics is not dirty, it's the people. How do you plan to go about it? How do you plan to deal with those people that will believe, as in Kikuyu they say, Shinajeshikeni.
Yeah.
So, because they believe in, as a politician, so you are there to give them money.
Yeah.
How do you do you plan to go about that kind of politics?
Yeah. Thank you. It is interesting the way you have put it. Most of the time we have said that politics is a dirty game, but it is true. It is the players who are rough. And I believe, Mr. James, we have transitioned from that type of politics, but we will never miss such characters in the political arena. It is now. That is where we are talking about leadership. Leadership is not about how loud you shout. It is all about action. So the way I'm planning to handle the politics of this time, or the way I would encourage other competitors, because by the end of the day, we all want to do something for Wanjiku. Let us play politics that is agenda-based. Agendas should lead our politics. In my capacity, I have already encountered such type of politics. For example, there are people spreading rumors that I don't belong. I don't belong to Kameno, or I don't belong to Kiganjo. They are saying Kiganjo is ours. This time we will need one of our own. I am part and parcel of Kiganjo. I have invested in Kiganjo. My relatives are in Kiganjo. So, as long as my interests are in Kiganjo, and I want the people of Kiganjo, the youths, the women to grow with me, I would like to tell those people, interest is everything. And my interest is economic, social, and services empowerment for our people. So the politics of calling people names are not in my platform. I will do my politics by selling my manifesto, selling my agendas, and ensuring that I convince Wanjiku why I am better than that other person and why I should represent her. Thank you.
Okay, now, assuming the residents of Kameno Ward decide to give you the seat.
Yes.
Considering Kameno Ward is very vast,
Yes.
and probably the biggest in the country with over 50,000 voters,
Yes, yes.
and over 100,000 population, what will be your priority areas if elected as the next MCA for Kameno?
Yeah, that is a very good question, and I believe that is why we are here. In my agendas, I have categorized them into two broad categories. One of them is economic empowerment for our youths and women. The other category is provision of essential services. Let me start with economic empowerment for our women and youths. Kameno is a ward that has a very high population, just like you have outlined, over 50,000 registered voters.
Yeah.
And I believe over maybe 8,000 residents. So what can I do? What will I do different from my predecessor or from those who are competing with me to ensure that the people of Kameno get the services they want. When it comes to economic empowerment, I and my team came up with new innovative ways. How can we create employment for our young men and women? What can we do different? How can we become innovative? We get out of the norm of saying we shall do this, what is practical and cost effective. That is why one of my agendas will be getting the youths out of the streets. Because you can agree with me, Mr. James, our youths, especially in Kameno, are engaging in drug abuse at a very high rate. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. It is the economic situation that is there. The rate of idleness is too high. So what will I do? The first thing, the agenda I had about online jobs, I plan to build an ICT center. What do I say? A technology center. A place, just a room where I can put internet and about 50 computers. Maybe in Kisii, another one in Posta, and another one in Kiganjo. Why am I doing this? We have a group of youths that are frustrated. They went to school, they went to college, they went to university, and they are very, very brilliant. But they are even the number one in drug abuse because of the frustration and the depression that come with that. How will I help them? First of all, this ICT center will create employment. We will have other youths who will train them. That is the first thing. After training them, we know where to get these jobs. We have friends, we have platform, we have websites where we can send them. We have shown you how to work. Now go and fish. But we will not give you fish. We will give you a platform to fish. So you see, Mr. James, we have already taken a certain section of youths. Then the other thing, there is the issue of garbage collection. Mr. James, I want to be practical. I want to work with what I have. Before the government comes to me, what do I have for my youths? The issue of garbage collection, we can convert it to employment. And I will say this, garbage collection, like in Kisii now, there are like 2 private sectors that are collecting garbage. We want our youth to form groups that can start lobbying for those services from the landlords. Maybe per house. Now, like the place I stay, we pay 150 shillings for garbage collection. These groups, when we organize them, even if in Kisii we shall form 15 people, and then I can also lobby at the county. I lobby for the truck. There's the truck, it has a driver, it has fuel. After these guys collect this garbage now, then the truck can just come and take. And these guys will be working 4 times in a week, 4 times in a month, I mean. So it means by the end of the day, this guy will be able to get some earning. Even if it is around 6,000. Huyo mtu umemrahisishia nyumba, amelipa na amekula. As they wait to transition to something else. And at the same time, as a mechanical engineer, how do I use my expertise and skills in the same line of garbage collection to create employment? We have a dump site called Kangoki.
Yeah.
Kangoki. There is a machine called HDPE. This machine, it is just around 1.5 million. And we can come up with a project for youths in that area. Those that we see collecting plastics everywhere. So this, we can just inject around 2 million. 2 million shillings will be enough to start that project. What will it do? We can start recycling that plastic. We buy them, we buy the plastic from them, and then it is recycled. Then like the company that I was in, we can sell that. We can go to industrial area. Then we start recycling. At the same time, we have ensured that the environment is clean.
That is true.
Yeah. Then another agenda, bado kwa youth, to ensure that they are empowered. Ni mambo na Mama Fua Washing Center. Why am I talking about Mama Fua Washing Center? We have very many single ladies. Most of them are single ladies, by the way, that go from door to door, washing clothes for people. Wewe ukikuja kumlipa, utamwambia mambo na maji, utamwambia mambo na sabuni, and at the same time she might not be safe. Because she doesn't know who she is dealing with.
Yes.
So My agenda is this. If we come up with these washing centers, we put like 2 machines, maybe in Kisii, and 2 machines in Posta, and maybe 3 machines in Kiganjo.
And we also, when we are talking of Kameno ward,
Yeah.
remember we are going down to mpaka Salama.
So yeah, there's a reason why I'm saying this.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the areas. We start with the areas where the use are most concentrated.
Okay, I get it.
And any woman or any lady from any corner of Kameno, even outside Kameno, can join these groups. Because at the same time, we want them to form their own unions. Why am I talking about unions? Even that was part of my agendas. Formation of groups and unions. And why am I introducing the Mamafua Washing Center? These ladies, for every time, in 4 hours, if they come to wash clothes at your home in 4 hours, the machine will help them work in 25 minutes for one task. Nguo zishafuliwa, zimekaushwa na umeletewa, and then you pay. At the same time, we force them to save something. The aim here is to let them pull some resources together and then get more opportunities to work at the same time. So by the end of the day, they have formed a union. This union has savings. We don't want this mamafua to steal fua nguo, aoshe nguo day in, day out. We want them to grow. That is what we want. So this circle they have formed, I as MCA, they have already started contributing something from their savings. I can now come and talk with my MP and my governor and put something in that kitty, that group, maybe a group of 500 people or more by that time. It means now they have somewhere they can borrow money at very little interest to still grow their own circle, and then they can start some other business. You see? That is the kind of thinking that I have. Practical as I go for other bigger employment agendas. Yes.
That's great. That's great. If it materializes, that's a very big idea.
Yes.
Now, we cannot talk about Kameno ward without talking about Madaraka Market.
Yes.
And maybe the main bus park in Makongeni.
Yes.
Because that is the core or the heart of Kameno.
The heart of Kameno, yes.
Now, what are your plans for the 2 entities, that is the bus park and the market itself?
Yes, thank you. As you have outlined, the Madaraka Market and the stage, the ground they were given by Posta, is an issue that has been there for some time.
Yes.
Right now, if it rains, Mr. James, entering that market is a problem. Our women and men are suffering there.
It's true.
And I would like to say this. What has been lacking in that area is something we call representation. Let us be honest with each other. An MCA has no kitty funding to directly go and implement the project. But I have a responsibility called the representation.
Which is true.
Representation means it is my duty to come up with a motion, table it to Parliament, lobby other MCAs, and ensure that funding for that market is there. Whichever means I use, but I have to represent my people. I think that is what has been lacking. We have to push for that because modernization of that market is a priority. Why am I saying this? It serves Mwingi, it serves Machakos, it serves Murang'a, Kiambu, Nairobi, and all the wards around here. So it means that is a very, very, very sensitive area, and our women are suffering in that area. It will be a priority that what I'll do as an MCA, and I've told you, is go and table that motion as #1 priority. Because the people, year in, year out, politicians have been telling them, we will upgrade, but nobody is talking about it in the Parliament. I've not heard, sorry to say, the MCA that was there, let me say, I've not had that motion in place. He might have had the plan, but I've not had the motion in place. And now it is time now we push for that, and we push for it properly, so that the modernization of that stage, the same goes to the stage. The stage, there are arguments that it belongs to Posta.
The post office. Yeah.
The post office. Yeah. But let me say this, at least those are human beings operating there. At least the government can go to an extent of kuweka kabro. They can put some kabro there at least, and a good drainage. to ensure that our matatus operate efficiently. The drainage in the market is also a problem. And I, as an engineer, I can even visualize how we can do it about the drainage problem. Yes. So I think that will be a very good priority for me. Yes. And at the same time, Mr. James, I told you about my economic empowerment. I've not gone to the essential services. And my plan about essential services for the people of
Just
Kameno.
go ahead.
Yes. So the plan I have about essential services, most importantly, I will start with education. Why am I talking about education? Even the Bible says when my people perish because of lack of knowledge. So it is our responsibilities as parents at least to give our children good education. That is the only inheritance they will ever get.
That's true.
So what am I saying? The issue of bursary allocation is a very critical issue. The burden of education, let me say it is high. We are told it is free, but technically we know it is not. It is not actually free. We cannot do without bursaries, and that is why the issue of the Department of Bursary was put under the MP's docket, and also under the representation of the MCA. So I plan to ensure that in Kameno, we will streamline the issue of bursary allocation. It is very sad, Mr. James, that some people are getting double or triple allocation of bursaries. I've been on the ground. I've been hearing stories here and there. So, but how can we come up with a good system? That is what I talked about, participative leadership. I come up with a good system where we can see this year we are giving this group. We take all their names, and then we say this year we are giving you maybe 200 people bursaries. Then next year we are giving these ones. Nyinyi at least muitikia wapate the other year. Then the other year we are giving this group, because fairness is a very good, is a very important aspect when it comes to resource distribution. Because mtu akianza kusikia that I'm not getting the services that I should, niko na haki, or I start telling people you did not vote in Kameno, so I will not give you bursary.
I get your point.
Yeah,
now, going ahead as we are closing down,
Yes.
We also have the issue of health is under the county government, or it's devolved.
Yes.
And being a devolved system of government, it falls squarely on your part through representation.
Yes.
In Kameno Ward, we have one dispensary.
Yeah.
That is the Makongeni First Aid Dispensary, which is a small facility.
Exactly.
Serving so many people.
Yes.
What is your plan for that facility? Or
thank you.
any other?
Thank you, Mr. James. The issue of health has been very critical. The people on the ground are telling me, health, we are suffering. Now, for example, in Kiganjo, a place with over, let me say, around more than 30,000 people,
It's true.
they have no hospital or even health center. That is where I talked about the issue of representation. It will be my duty to ensure that this time we lobby, we ensure at least we have, even if it is a level 3 hospital, we need one in Kiganjo to cover those people. The Phase 8 dispensary, it's a health center. It cannot hold the pressure of Kameno. The people are too many. Level 5 is holding the whole of Thika. So we have to come up with a system where the governor, the MP, the MCA have to work together and ensure that level 3 or level 4 hospital is put at Kiganjo. And at the same time, the Phase 8, it can be upgraded at least to maybe a level 3 hospital, so that we cover more people from Posta, the Phases there, and Kisii, and even Landless, all the way up to Salama. Yes.
Now, as I finalize,
Yes.
I believe Kameno Ward has issues with water shortage.
Yes.
It has issues with drainage problems in some areas.
Yeah.
And we also have issues with poor road network in some of those areas.
Yeah.
Maybe can you tell us, since still that one falls under your docket,
Yes.
how do you plan to come up with solutions to the drainage problem, the water problem, and the road network problem?
Thank you, Mr. James. The issue of water distribution has been a very critical issue for the people of Kameno. Now, for example, in Kiganjo, there was a time in Corner 1, as we speak right now, there is a very huge water distribution problem. People have no water. It's just a few plots that have water. So water distribution will be a thing that we can work closely with the WASCO. Because there is the issue, we have to remember there is the issue of rationing. But this rationing has to be done fairly. We have to ensure if Monday you are giving people to Kiganjo, let them get that water. If you are giving them on Tuesday, let them get that water. Because we talked about the issue of the roles of MCA. There are three. There's the representation, there's the oversight, and there's the legislation. There's the legislation. The issue of water and road network comes in the area we call representation. We have to ensure that we come up with we are ensuring that we are coming up with programs. We are local people. If it is road networks, tenders are given to the locals, and the labor comes from the locals in that area. So if barabara tunajenga Kiganjo, a certain, maybe in corner 2, we want to upgrade it, and the drainage, there is no need to get people from other wards. We have experts in that area, and the labor should come from that nini. So that will be my area of focus, to ensure that I ensure the people of Kameno get water and they get good road networks. Because that has been an issue, especially in Bombolulu in Kisii, in Kiganjo, drainage huko chini, na pia corner 3, corner 2 na corner 1. The road networks are poor and the drainage is very poor. Yes. So that is part of my agenda. Yes. And I will work closely with the MP and the governor. Because let me tell you, if you don't work closely with those people, maendeleo haitaifika kwako. If you go to bring fights there, my aim will be to respect the hierarchy that is there. But at the same time, ensure that I don't compromise on representing my people and ensuring that they get the right services.
That's true.
Yes.
Now, as we wind up, maybe there's 1 point or 2 points that you have not, we have not covered.
Yes.
Maybe can you tell us your parting shot as we wind up the show?
My parting shot is this to the people of Kameno. It has come a time that we young people have to rise. And by young people, I mean both men and women. We have to rise and we have to be accountable. This time, let us not sell our inheritance. By inheritance, I mean let us not sell Kameno by being given tokens. The politics of tokenism, where I give you money so that you vote for me. Let us listen to agendas. Let us listen to ideas. Let us listen to innovativeness. Because what we need is leadership. Leadership is everything. And I tell the people of Kameno, I am here to serve them. I want to lead differently. I want to lead to give transformative leadership, and I want people to participate in this leadership. So thank you, and I ask for your support, and pamoja tutaensure Kameno imeenda mbele. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, and also thank you very much for honoring our request to come. It has been an honor as 3T TV.
Yes.
And we all wish you the best.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best in your endeavors. And for our viewers, we thank you very much for keeping us online and keeping us supporting these programs. For those who have been following us, we appreciate your gesture. For those who have not followed us, please subscribe from 3T TV, Thika's #1 online news channel, where we tell the Thika story as it is. And from here at Mary Point Garden, it's Jemo Wathika saying adios.